What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, spicy, tender, amazing peri chicken. Coming up. This is a chicken. Pat it dry. And what I've got here is a whole chicken. Picked this up at my local grocery store, weighing in right around 4 pounds. And, well, it's a chicken. But you could use whatever kind of chicken you like for this recipe. And that's because today we're taking a look at peri chicken, which is a super easy way to get some really flavorful, nice and tender, and a little bit spicy barbecue chicken. And you can do this on whatever pit you got. You know, the offset, pellet grill, gas grill, oven, anything that can get pretty hot should work out just fine for this recipe. And I think traditionally it's a whole chicken that's had the backbone removed, or a spatchcocked chicken. But I think today I'm going to go ahead and cut this chicken in half just to make it a little bit easier to manipulate and move around on the pit and get marinated. Instead of breaking it in half, I'm simply going to go down the backbone here with a pair of poultry shears, which is easy to do. You could go ahead and pull the backbone out if you wanted to, but I think by leaving it on, we'll get a little extra skin on the backside, and it'll also help keep the breast and the thighs from falling apart. And then we're simply going to open this up and cut right through the breastbone. And there we go. Super easy. And usually whenever I'm talking about chicken, I always want to trim off some of this extra skin on top because it looks like it needs to be trimmed up a little bit. But you know that's going to be incredibly tasty. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on. And now the question is, do I remove the wingtips? Do I go ahead and tuck them behind like that? Or do I just leave them on? I kind of want to take them off because it's a good presentation, but I'm worried that with all the acid that we're going to be marinating this in, that it might make this wing super tender. So by leaving this on, the bones might not split apart and go all weird on us. So I'm going to leave it just the way it is. And like I mentioned, we are going to be marinating this overnight, but I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm making a marinade, I never know how much salt to add, but I do know how much salt to put on a chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and get these seasoned up right now with a nice healthy dusting of some Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. On sale now, chudsbbq.com. Give that a flip and do the top side as well. Nice heavy coating. It can take more salt than you think it can. Getting all the crevices on the breast skin over here. Beautiful. And we'll do the same to this one. Beautiful. And now I'm going to park this in the fridge for a little bit to let that salt start penetrating into the meat. And while that chicken hangs out in the fridge, let's go ahead and get our marinade ready. So to make our peri marinade into a food processor, I'm going in with 1 red onion, followed by 1 red bell pepper, an aggressive amount of garlic, the zest of 2 lemons, followed by the juice of 2 lemons. Also, I wasn't planning on adding these, but I just made dinner for me and Brooke, and I have this much scallion left over, so I'm just going to throw it in there as well. Followed by some bird's eye chilies, or at least I think these are bird's eye chilies. They go by many different names. These were sold as Thai green chilies, which I'm pretty sure is the same thing as a bird's eye chili. But in Africa, where this dish originates from, bird's eye chilies are called peri chilies. So these are really hot. I got 8 of them. Hopefully that's not too many, and they're going in. As well as some fresh thyme, a little bit of sugar, some smoked paprika, some kosher salt, and a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper. And I know we already salted the bird, so why am I adding salt to the marinade? And that's because there's a whole onion and a bell pepper and all this stuff still needs to be seasoned. So now we blitz. And after a thorough blitzing, we're going to go in with our final ingredient, which is some oil. This is avocado oil, but you could use whatever you like, any neutral oil. And that's just going to help cream it up and thicken it up a little bit. Oh God! Oh God! And just like that, our beautiful marinade is done, and now over the chicken we go. Oh yeah. A little lighter in color than I was expecting, with all the red ingredients in there, but certainly smells good. So now we're gonna go in there and get everything rubbed in, trying to get this in all the little nooks and crannies under the wings. Beautiful. And I'm gonna go ahead and park this in the fridge overnight to let this marinade start penetrating the chicken. You could probably get away with 4 or 5 hours, but it's just going to be better the longer this sits. Up to probably 48 hours. Anything past that, you might run into some problems because of all the lemon juice in there. But for now, I'm going to pop this in the fridge and we'll check back in on this tomorrow. This video is brought to you by Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep makes premium quality mattresses and bedding customized to fit your needs and conveniently shipped right to your door. The Helix lineup offers over 20 unique mattresses to choose from, and they also have a great line of mattress toppers as well. So no matter your setup, Helix has a perfect solution for pretty much everybody. And how it works is simple. You go to their website, you fill out the sleep quiz where you enter your basic information, and they will pair you with the perfect mattress for you. I took the quiz a while back with Brooke, and we were matched with the Helix Sleep Dusk Luxe mattress, and I gotta tell you, it is the best bed I've ever had. Even 4 years later, it's holding up great, still just as comfortable as the day I got it. I'm sleeping better than I ever had. I don't have any lower back pain anymore, which is great, and it's just so dang comfy. But aside from how comfy they are, one of the best parts about Helix is how convenient it is, because they come in a very reasonably sized box shipped right to your door. Then you simply break the vac seal, watch it come back to life, and it's never been easier to get a king-size mattress in your bedroom. Plus, there's free shipping in the US, and they also offer a 120-night sleep trial, just to make sure that you love the mattress. And once you've got one, they've got a lifetime warranty. And I've been loving my Helix mattress for quite some time at this point, but they also recently sent over their new comfort adjusting pillow. And this thing is an absolute game changer. It's got the same Glaciotex cooling fabric that my mattress has to make sure I don't get too hot while I'm sleeping. And honestly, I've been wanting to invest in a really good durable pillow for quite some time now. And this one just checks all the boxes. Super comfy. It's also height adjustable if you want it even bigger. And you can add or remove the memory foam inside to dial it into your perfect comfort levels. It's so comfy. And with the springtime upon us, it's the perfect time to reset and refresh your sleep area, which you can do by picking up a new mattress or investing in a really high quality pillow that customizes to your body over time. So if you're looking for a new mattress or a new pillow, click my link in the description box of this video or scan the QR code on screen now to take advantage of their spring savings event and get 20% off site-wide. Again, link down below or scan the QR code on screen now to check out Helix Sleep and take advantage of 20% off site-wide. Thank you, Helix. One overnight marination later, out of the fridge this chicken comes looking absolutely beautiful and smelling great. And really at this point, there's not all that much we gotta do. We just gotta cook it off. And like I was saying last night, you can cook this on whatever you've got. You know, you could just pop this in the oven, you can throw it on the old offset, pellet grill would work great, but I think something with direct heat is really what we're after, like a charcoal grill or a chud box, because we're trying to get some really good color on this stuff, kind of blacken that skin a little bit, build up some good flavor. So I think the chud box is the proper move for this. So that being said, let's go ahead and fire up the pit. Gonna be going direct heat on this cook, so we're gonna take the charcoal grates out of here. And on the pit we go. Got the old chud box here fired up to about 300, maybe 325. A little bit hotter and faster than I normally would for a chicken, but simply enough, straight out of the marinade, onto the pit we go. Give it a couple of dippy dips. And I'm gonna start out bone side down. And that's just because I found that by letting this top part stay exposed, it kind of air dries out a little bit, helping the skin tighten up and letting this dry out so when we flip it, we get some really good color on this side, which is our presentation side, where we want the best looking chicken boobs ever. Not tucking the wingtips or anything, just gonna keep it pretty rustic and pretty classic today. So, probably not gonna be that long of a cook, but we're just gonna let these start to char up and get some good smoke flavor and start cooking. And of course, we're going to save all of our extra marinade from this vessel. I'm just going to put it into this pot to make it a little bit more easy to work with and move around. Probably could have used a smaller pot. That's coming up to about there, but I'm okay with it. Been about 25 minutes or so, and it's time to check in on these birds. Starting to look good, starting to drip a little bit, which is giving us some great direct heat flavor. So now I'm gonna go ahead and flip these over to start cooking the top side a little bit, but first I'm gonna go ahead and paint on some more of this marinade, just for good measure. Got plenty of it. And I almost busted out a mop, because it would be a little more fun on the chud box, but pretty chunky, thick marinade, and cleaning a mop is really annoying, so little brush it is. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and get these turned over. Starting to get some good color on the back side here as well. But again, I'm mostly focused on just getting some good color and flavor on the top side. But while these are flipped over, I'll paint some more back here as well and get some of this lovely marinade with all that raw veg in there cooked onto the meat. And while that chicken cooks away, I do want to continue to baste it with this marinade, but there's so much water in this from the onion and the garlic and all the other veg. So I think I'm going to reduce this down a little bit to concentrate the flavors, cook off some of the water content, and make it a little bit more tasty. So I'm just going to bring this up to a simmer and let it cook down for the next 10-15 minutes or so. This has been cooking down for about 5 minutes, and it's still looking pretty chunky because we used a food processor instead of a blender. So I'm going to go ahead and put this immersion blender in there and make it a little bit more fine so it's more of a smooth sauce. Beautiful. And just like that, after about 10 minutes, this is reduced down nicely, thickened up quite a bit. All the raw chicken has been cooked off, so it's now able to be eaten. And the color darkened up a lot too, which is great. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a taste and see if it needs anything. Ooh. Oh, that is lovely. Definitely not wimpy in the heat department, but honestly not as bad as I was expecting it to be. And really, it tastes great. You know, the salt is there, the acid is there, the heat is there, so I'm not gonna add anything to it. That is really good though. Checking back in on our chickens over here. We're about an hour 20, hour 30 into this cook total. So I think it's time to flip these over and see how they look. Oh yeah, that looks great. Wing definitely got a little charred up, but like I keep saying, a little charring, a little browning is exactly what we're after. This side looking good too. And checking the temps, the breast is about 160. Thighs are about 180, 185-ish. So this chicken is fully cooked and pretty much done. So all I'm gonna do now is finish it off with one final glaze of our now cooked sauce with a different brush that isn't covered in raw chicken. Oh yeah, this is much easier to paint on now that it's been reduced a little bit. And I was really close to finishing this sauce with a couple knobs of butter, even though that's not traditional, but I thought some extra richness would be nice. But then I remembered how much oil is in this sauce, so decided against it. But you do you. Beautiful. We're gonna let this go for probably another 10-15 minutes to let this outer sauce cook on, get a little bit more color on the underside, and then we'll see how they're looking. And after about 15 minutes or so of letting that sauce cook on, these chickens are looking absolutely beautiful. It was interesting, when I put that sauce on, it kind of split and broke on the chicken, which is why it's looking so oily, which is honestly a great thing. It's got a nice shine to it, and it's probably helping it get nice and crispy. But it did come through with that brush and help move all the solids around so they could toast up and cook on, and I did one more layer, and these are looking absolutely beautiful. And honestly, I kind of want to do another layer of sauce, but by the time that cooks on, these chickens would be way overcooked. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off, and we're gonna add extra sauce at the table if we need it. But looking very nice and smelling great. And just like that, fresh off the pit, we're gonna let these rest down for a little bit, but I am absolutely loving how these are looking. Really great color on there, love the amount of char without being too burnt, although someone's probably gonna complain about this being too burnt. But you know, just Google peri peri chicken. They tend to grill it pretty hard. But while it rests, I'm gonna go on with a little garnish, which is just a bundle of some fresh thyme to see if it sticks, because I think it might make it look pretty and add some nice little flavor at the end here. Why not? That is not sticking at all. I don't really care. It looks good enough already. And there it is in all its glory, folks. Some beautiful, tender, spicy peri peri chicken with some more sauce to dip if we need it, but really, it's all about how it came out. But before I go ahead and dive in, let's go ahead and get this carved up a little bit, shall we? Simply go right in here. Separate the breast from the drum, and then split the drum off the thigh for a beautiful looking little drumstick. And then we've got the breast and wing portion over here, which you could just serve up as is, or if you wanted to, you could try and peel all these bones off the backside. Don't need that. Take this rib cage off as well. And then come in here and try and get this wing off. Pretty easy. Feel around for any bones you might have missed, like this wishbone in here. Then you got a beautiful boneless little piece of chicken breast. Kind of a sad looking breast. All the wing really took all the brunt of the heat and the sauce, so this one's looking kind of naked, but I'm sure it still tastes great. And we'll do the same to this one over here. Not a bad looking spread of chicken, folks. Where to even start? Gotta go with the drumstick at first. Oh, the flavor on that is so good. So tender, so juicy. It's just a really good, like, elevated, complex grilled chicken, you know what I mean? Yep, that is unbelievable. That sauce is so flavorful. Nice juicy chicken. That is incredible. First and foremost, it's not as spicy as I was thinking it would be, but the heat is definitely there. It's a nice background heat, but it's just a perfectly balanced sauce. You know, you got the complexity from the garlic and the onion, then you got the heat from the chilies, you got the acid from the lemon juice. It's just a perfect sauce. I mean, look at how that is just dripping with juice. Beautiful color on that skin, perfectly cooked. You know I'm a thigh guy. That is so juicy and so good. Doesn't really need it, but we've got some extra sauce here. Let's see if that adds anything to the party. Ooh. It's just a flavor bomb in every bite. So good and so simple. Incredibly juicy chicken, a little bit of heat. That's what grilling's all about, folks. That spice level is perfect. I don't have much to say, folks. This is just a really good chicken. And that meat is just so incredibly juicy from all the acid in that marinade, too. Gotta love that. Dip. Brooke.
Yes.
Would you like to try some peri peri chicken?
Yes. I don't think I've ever had this before.
It's pretty tasty. Spoiler alert. This little piece of skin on the board's been eyeing me.
What's this?
That's a sauce.
Oh. Those are not the flavors I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
Kind of like a curry flavor. It's really bright.
Yeah, it's very nice.
God.
A lot of lemon juice in there. It does kind of look like a curry paste, though.
Yeah, juicy.
You went right for the old breast meat, did you?
You don't know me.
Dip, dip, dip.
So is this smoked?
The old chud box.
Okay.
Kind of hot and fast, so it's essentially grilled.
Yeah. A little direct heat action.
That's a good chicken boob right there.
Oh, wait. Let me get these little coins in here.
Pretty simple ingredients, but honestly, the flavor is just complex and delicious.
What am I tasting in this? Like tomato, maybe?
No tomato.
No? Well, whatever it is, it's good.
Red onion, garlic, there's some bell pepper in there, bird's eye chilies, lemon juice.
That's good. The sauce is definitely the move. I mean, it's good by itself, but if you're wanting something a little more like...
A little more zip.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of nice because
sauce.
the sauce is cooked onto the chicken and it's marinated. So you get the flavor of it in its raw form, penetrating deep into the chicken. Then you get it cooked onto the chicken, and then you get it kind of cooked down and reduced. So it's like 3 different flavors of the same sauce.
Yeah, like the chicken is very much like this chicken could go with anything. But with this sauce... You'd probably want it with some like rice and like, you know.
Yeah, I thought about making some African rice, some jollof, I think it's called.
Okay.
But you know what? I was just in the mood to eat a big pile of chicken tonight.
Why not? Oh, that's good.
Now, whenever I make a video about South Africa, they usually show up in the comment section. This is not from South Africa. It's from Mozambique, which is right next to South Africa on the southern eastern tip.
I'm familiar with the name, but I think I've only heard it as like Mozambique.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Flawlessly.
It's delicious, though. This is a native cuisine up there?
Yeah, I think from what I understand with my brief research, Mozambique was at one point a Portuguese settlement.
Okay.
And the Portuguese loved bird's eye chilies and they kind of brought them over and then developed this recipe. Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very simple dish, but it's incredibly flavorful. I threw a couple extra chilies in there than I was planning on. I was going to throw 6 bird's eye chilies into the marinade, and I ended up going in with 8.
I don't know if I know what a bird's eye chili is.
It's like a Thai chili.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Is it small?
Yeah, it's small, petite, packs a punch.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the fun thing about trying these different recipes is, or every culture ever has some sort of specific chicken dish, you know?
Yeah.
I did the tandoori chicken not too long ago. We've done the Hawaiian shoyu chicken. This is the African version.
Love it.
So let me know down below, what other chicken recipes do I need to test out? Because so far they're all really good.
Yeah. I don't think there's been one that I'm like, meh, can't stop eating this one, that's for sure.
This is really, it's a bit Moorish in it.
What is Moorish?
Addicting. Keeps coming back for more.
Oh.
I had the same reaction when Dave explained that one to me when we were in the UK. I'm like, what's Moorish? He's like, you want more.
That's such a dad joke.
Well, we're going to devour this entire chicken because
Yeah.
it's actually dinner time and this is really good.
Yeah.
But with this very last bite of peri chicken, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic peri chicken. I highly recommend giving this one a try. You know, that marinade slash sauce combo is a 10 out of 10 on the flavor scale. And other than the overnight marination, comes together really quickly, pretty quick and easy cook. And that chicken was just so dang tasty. And, you know, it really just hits on the salt, fat, acid, heat ratios all working together perfectly. Plus that lovely charcoal flavor. Really nothing wrong with that, folks. And definitely something I'll be adding to the rotation of weeknight dinners around the old Chud compound because I love a good grilled chicken, and that one is certainly hard to beat. And also, it's a bunch of pretty readily available ingredients. You know, those bird's eye chilies are the only thing that might be hard to find, but you know, sub in a serrano, a habanero, or some Fresnos or something, and you'll get like 99% of the way there. But if you can find bird's eye chilies, this is definitely something worth checking out. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.